Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Preparation Katta. Today we are starting with the topic ratio and proportion. To understand a ratio and proportion, first, just think them as the language of comparison. They tell us how much of one thing have to compared with the other one, or how two different relationships are equal. Okay, now let's first try to understand what does mean by ratio. Okay, a ratio, I'll say it's a way to compare two or more numbers of same kind. It tells us how many times one number contains another. Let's say like ratio, how we write it as? We write it as A as to B, right? Right? A is to B. So how I should write it? A is to B, or the same thing I can write it as A divided by B. Let's try to understand this with the daily example. So let's consider, or let's imagine, you are making a tea for your friends. Okay, and for every 2 cup of milk, let's say these are the 2 cups. Okay, and for every 2 cup of milk you add 1 cup of water. So this is what? Milk, and this is water. So for every 2 cup of tea, what you are doing? You are adding 1 cup of water. So can I say the ratio of milk? Now milk, how many cups are there? 2. And how many cup of water? 1. So can I say the ratio of milk to water is 2 as to 1? If you want to make one more tea, or let's say more tea, you must keep this balanced, right, to have a same taste. So let's say if you use 4 cup of milk. Okay, right now you are preparing milk for, let's say, tea for 2 friends, but now you have to prepare milk for, let's say, 4 friends, or tea for 4 friends. Then what you will do? You will use, earlier you used 2 cups of milk, now you will use 4 cups of milk, right? And then how much water you will use? You will use 2 cups of water, right? Now now can you correlate? Are you able to follow me? So if you want to make more tea, you must keep this balance the same, right? So if you use 4 cups of milk, okay, you must use 2 cups of water, right? That means 4 is to 2. And if I simplify it, as because I can write it as 4 by 2. So if I further simplify it, as can I write it as 2 by 1? That means 2 as to 1. That means what I did, I keep this ratio same when I was preparing tea for 2 friends, and when I was preparing tea for 4 friends. So this equality of ratio, okay, this equality of ratios is nothing but what? Proportion. Proportion. So what we call it as proportion? So proportion is what? The equality of ratios. The equality of ratios. Okay. So proportion is simply a statement that two ratios are equal, right? So if one ratio is same as another ratio, okay, if one ratio is same as another ratio, that means these two ratios are in proportion. Just now we have seen, right, 2 as to 1 and 4 as to 2. So these two ratios are equal. That means these two ratios are in proportion. Now let's try to understand the notation part. Now how we write? So we write it as A as to B is in proportion with. So how I will read this 4 dot as in proportion with C/S to D, or I can write it as A divided by B is equals to C divided by D. Now let's try to understand the proportion with the simple example. So let's take an example of a photograph. Okay, so this is a photograph. If the small photo is, let's say, 4 centimeter wide and 6 centimeter tall, okay, that means the ratio of this photo is how much? 4:6. So I can write it as 4 by 6 as well. If I simplify it further, it is 2 by 3. That means 4:6 or 2:3. So if we enlarge it, okay, if we enlarge it, let's say now 4 centimeter, I have converted it into 8 centimeter wide, then for tall it must be how much? So we have multiply here by 2. Then we must multiply here by 2. That means this height must be 12, so that this photo will look right, right? Because we have seen this 4 by 6 is nothing but what? We have multiplied it by 2, so that is nothing but 8 by 12. So these two sizes are in proportion. So let's say instead of this 12, if height was anything else, so don't you think the person inside the photo will look either too stretched or too fat? Don't you think? Right? So let's consider the like real life comparison. Okay. So if we have to compare two parts, okay, if we have to compare, let's say two parts, let's say an example. So in a classroom, there are three boys for every two girls. Okay, so can I write it as 3:2? So what I said, in a classroom, there are three boys for every two girls, and that's why the ratio of boys versus girl, okay, in that classroom is 3:2. Now let's try to understand the links to equal comparisons. So let's say if five chocolates, okay, here I am saying number of chocolates, and here I am saying the cost. Okay, if five chocolates cost rupees 20, then 10 chocolate must cost rupees 40. And this is nothing but what? Now number of chocolates and cost are in proportion. Can I say that? Yes, right? It's very logical, right? If I mean, 5 chocolates, 20 rupees, obviously 10 chocolates, 40 rupees. Now you might be wondering, why is it this important for exam? Is it asked in the exam? So yes, the examinations like MPSC or UPSC, you don't have to use X and Y much, okay? You just have to see the units. So let us take an example, okay? We are not going to solve it now. Let's understand the kind of problem. Let's say the ratio of Rahul's age, okay? Now this is Rahul's age to his sister's age, okay, is 5:4. And if I add the sum of their two ages, so that is equal to 27, then in examination they will ask how old Rahul is. Okay, we have to find out the Rahul's age. So normally such kind of examples are asked in the examination. So we are going to see each and every type of example which is asked in the examination. So now tell me, now the basic logic is clear, right? So let's try to understand some of the terminologies. So we are going to see two terminologies. The first terminology is, we call it as antecedent, okay, and the second terminology is called as consequent, okay. So antecedent, that means the first term of ratio. Okay, first term of ratio. Now tell me, if I'll write it at the center. Give me a moment. So A has to B. So this A, the first term of the ratio, is called as antecedent. So what does that antecedent mean? Antecedent means we call it as a leader. It is a Latin word, okay? And the second term is called as consequent. Consequent is also a Latin word, and its literal meaning is to follow. Okay, and antecedent, its literal meaning is to go before. Okay, so the first one we call it as antecedent, and the second one we call it as follow. Okay, this one is clear. Now you must be wondering why this order matters, why antecedent and let's say consequent, this order does matter. So in ratio and proportion, generally this relationship between two is directional. So suppose, let's say in our preparation kata class, so the ratio of past students to total students. So what? Past students to total students is, let's say, 4 as to 5. Okay, total students is 4 as to 5. Okay, that means antecedent is what? Antecedent is 4. That means it represents what? Those who passed the examination. And this is what? The consequent. It represents what? It represents the total class strength, right? It represents total class strength. So if you accidentally swap them, let's say you are saying 5 as to 4, now tell me, the logic fails, because we cannot have like 5 students passed out of 4 students, right? It is logical. Now let's come to the proportion. Now in proportion, what happens when two ratios are in proportion? Let's say A as to B are in proportion to C as to D. Now here we have to understand what is antecedent and what is, okay, consequence. So here, okay, this is first ratio, this is second ratio. Now in first ratio, the first term is antecedent, right? And in second ratio, again the first term is antecedent. And hence, if this is given, let's say A as to B in proportion with C as to D, that means A and C are antecedent. And then remaining B and D, which are the second terms of the ratio, let's say the denominators of the ratio, we call it as consequence. This is clear. So just remember कि A comes before C. Okay, so don't confuse which one to call antecedent and which one to call consequent. Okay, so A comes before C in the alphabet, and hence antecedent will come first and consequent comes second. Now following to these two terminologies, okay, we have to see two things. So the first one is mean proportional. Okay, we call it as geometric mean. And the second term which we have to see is the third proportional. Okay, third proportional. These terminologies are very, very important in the physics. Okay, you might have come across some problems in physics or in your engineering degree. So let's say if two numbers A and B, we are seeing the first terminology for now, which is mean proportional. We call it as geometric mean as well. So let's say the two numbers A and B are in mean proportional to X, which is a middle term, right? Now, what does this mean? If A and B are in mean proportional to X, that means A and B are mean proportional to X. So we have to write the X at the middle. So A and B are in mean proportional to X. Okay. What does that mean? Can I write it as A by X is equals to X by B? I can write. And if I try to simplify it as, can I say x square is equals to ab, and hence x is equals to square root of ab, and hence when in examination they will ask to find out the mean proportional, so that is nothing but what, the square root of a and b. You need not to remember any formula, just remember these terminologies: a as to x, okay, in proportional with x as to b, we can write it in this way, and then we can derive the formula in examination. Okay, so let's take an example from UPSC where the question was asked, what, I mean, what is the mean proportional between 4 and 9? So they asked the mean proportional for 4 and 9. What does that mean? So they have asked the mean proportional. Mean proportional are nothing but the in between number, and we have to find out that mean proportional. Okay, we have to find out the value of x. So similarly, tell me x is equals to what? We have derived just now, right? Square root of ab. What is the value of a? 4. What is the value of b? 9. In the square root, 4 into 9. Okay, and that is equals to square root of 36 and equals to 6, and hence 6 is the mean proportional. Okay, and hence we can write it as 4 as to 6 is in proportional with 6 as to 9, and these both the ratios can be simplified as 2 as to 3. Okay, you are getting this point, so you understood what does the mean proportional means. Now let's try to understand what is third proportional. Okay, this is very basic. Okay, you have to remember these terminologies. So if you understand first the basic part, the PYQs soon we are going to see, those are very easy to solve if you understand the basic part. Now third proportional, let's say x, is the value that follows the given numbers a and b to maintain the same ratio. Now, what is the logic? So, if I am saying the third proportional, right, now that means there are only three, let's say, number, right? So, a as to b is in proportional with b as to x. So, third proportional, right? 1, this is 2, bb, and this is third proportional. That means a by b is equals to b by x, and in this way, we have to find out the value of x, which comes out to be b square by a. In MPSC, okay, the example was find the third proportional to 12 and 8. So the example was what? Find third proportional to 12 and 18. Now what it is asking, so third proportional to 12 and 18. So 12 is what? Antecedent. So this is 12. It is asking the third proportional, so that means the between numbers should be common, which is 18. So here write it as 18 is in proportional with 18 as to x. So this x value is nothing but what? Third proportional. So we just have to write it in this format. So 12 by 18 is equals to 18 by x, right? So 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18, okay, and 2 9s are 18, and hence x is equals to 27, correct? And hence the proportion, okay, 12 as to 18, okay, as to 18 as to 27. So this is third proportional. This 27 is nothing but third proportional to 12 and 18. Okay, so if you are good at remembering the formula and you want to save the time in examination, you can remember the mean is, or the geometric mean is nothing but the square root of a and b. That means x is the middle link, and for the third proportional, okay, let's say given numbers are a and b, x is equals to b square by a. Now here x was the middle link, and here in this case b is the middle link. Now you might be wondering ki why is this useful? Okay, so these are often used, as I said just a few minutes before, this is used in geometry and physics problems. So let's say this mean proportional. So those students who are studying science, they might have come across the mean proportional is used to find the side of square equal in area to rectangle, right? For mean proportional. And a third proportional is used in lens formulas, or say less in simple harmonic ratios. So for that, the third proportional is used. And as I said, if you forget the formula, just remember the product of extremes. Okay, so if you have the ratio, let's say a as to b is in proportional with c as to d, so always you have to remember the product of extreme a into d is equals to the product of means, that means b into c. Okay, how we have to remember the product of extremes is equals to product of means. Now let's start with some more concepts, because just now we have seen third proportionate, okay, like mean. Now we have to understand what is the four proportional. Okay, the fourth proportional, continuous proportional, mean proportional. Okay, just now we have seen the mean proportional. So in proportional, let me check if something is there. Okay, so in exam they might ask the fourth proportional, and fourth proportional is nothing but you have to remember this formula what we have seen. So there was a problem in a SSC CGL examination, and what they have asked is find the fourth proportional to 4, 9 and 12. Right, this is easy. That means 4 as to 9 is in proportional with 12 as to some number, let's say x, and we have to find out this x value. Just now we have said the product of extremes is equals to the product of mean, right? And 4 3s are 12, 9 3s are 27, and hence x is equals to 27. That means the fourth proportional of 4, 9 and 12 is 27. Okay, so these type of questions are asked. Now let's start with the all types of problems which are asked in the MPSC and UPSC examination. So I hope you understood the entire theory part. So what we have seen, let's revise quickly in like 2-3 minutes. So we have seen what does mean by ratio, what does mean by proportion. Okay, and proportion, what is proportion? It is equality of ratios, right? Then what we have seen, we have seen the antecedent concept, and then consequent. And in antecedent we said ki a always comes before c in alphabet. That means the first number is called as antecedent and the second number is called as consequent. So this is just a trick to remember, and we cannot swap. Okay, then the meaning itself will get changed. Then we have seen the mean proportional or the geometric mean. The mean proportional means what? These mean numbers, right? If they are asking what is the mean proportional of, let's say, a and b, you have to find out this. And we have derived the formula also to find out the mean proportional, and we also call it as geometric mean. Then after that we have seen the third proportional for, let's say, number 4 and 9. These 4 and 9 are nothing but what? These are, okay, no, I think this was for geometric mean. In third proportional, what we have seen, if they say find the third proportionate of, let's say, number a and b, so a as to b is in proportional with b as to x. So third proportional is nothing but a kind of, we call it as like a continuous proportional also, we can call it as. Okay, so we have to write it down in this way, and we can derive such formula. Also we have seen in like one example how to find out the third proportional, and in fourth proportional we have see In SSC CGL, the one example already we have seen. So they will give the three numbers and they will ask what is the fourth proportional. So it is very easy to find out. Okay, now let's start with the problems which are asked in previous year questions of MPSC, UPSC, banking, CGL, etc. So let's start with the type 1 basic and merged ratios. So this problem was asked in MPSC Combined 2022. So what they have given, so A as to B is equals to 2 as to 3 and B as to C is equals to 4 as to 5. Then they are asking us to find what is A as to B as to C. So these problems are, very simple to solve. So in this case, what we have to do, so first I will show you the trick and then I will explain you the logic. Hmm? So just write down A as to B like this and then B as to C like this. So what is A as to B? It is 2 as to 3 and then B as to C is 4 as to 5. Okay. And now what we have to do is we have to convert it into A as to B as to C. So now here can you see we have to commonize these two number, right? Now let's say here are these number common? No, these are not common, right? Now to make it common, don't you think कि I have to multiply this equation, okay, this equation by 3, right? And I have to multiply this equation by 4 so that I will get this number as 12 and I'll get this number as 12. So can I say I will get it as 2 as to 12 and at the downside, okay, at the downside, now you might have seen a concept, right? If we are multiplying in a denominator by 4, we have to multiply in a numerator also by 4. So similarly, if we are multiplying the numerator here by 3, then we have to multiply to denominator also by 3. Then let's try to understand. So this 4 into 2 is what, 8, and this will become 12. Now this will become 12 and this will become 15. Okay, now these numbers are common. So can I say now 8 as to 12 as to 15, right? Now let's say in option, so in option we have option number A, 8 as to 12 as to 15. That means this option is correct. So this is okay. And now we have understood how to solve this problem. Now let's try to understand what is the logic behind it. Logic. Okay, what is the logic behind it? So we said A as to B is 2 as to 3 and B as to C is 4 as to 5. The logic is we have to write it in terms of A as to B as to C. That means there should be a common number at the center. Just now we have seen. So we have like one more way to solve such problems. So in similar way, just write 2 as to 3 and here write 4 as to 5. Now what we have to do, so this one is empty, this one is empty. Now this number just write it here, this number just write it here and just multiply vertically. So 2 into 4 it is 8, 3 into 4 it is 12, 5 into 3 it is 15. So 8 as to 12 as to 15, the same answer, right? So we have like two methods. One explains the concept and one explains the method of solving in examination. Okay, so this is okay. Now let's move to the second example. Now let us move to the second example of similar type. So this question was asked in SSC CGL examination 2023. So here it is given A as to B is equals to 2 as to 3, B as to C is 4 as to 1, C as to D is 2 as to 5, and we have to find out A as to D. So this was like very simple, example. So what they have given A as to B, that means A by B is given 2 by 3, B by C is given 4 by 1, C by D is given 2 by 5, and they are asking us to find out what is A by D.
Now tell me with a logic, can I write A by D as A by B into B by C into C by D? Can I write it as, right? A by B. So BB get cancelled, AC, CC get cancelled, AD. So I can write it in this way. But to me, A by B, it is already given, which is 2 by 3. Then B by C, which is already given 4 by 1. And C by D, which is already given 2 by 5. And I want to find out A by D, which is, I am writing it here. And hence, the answer will be what? Okay, the answer will be 16 by 15. That means 16 as to 15. Now, which is the correct option? So, option number A is correct. Now, let's move to the type number 2. The type number 2 is like mean, third, and fourth proportional. So, already we have seen what is mean proportional, what is third proportional, and what is fourth proportional. Now, the question number 3, which was asked in Maharashtra Forest Services. And the question was like find the fourth proportional to 12, 16, and 18. Now we know. Now what is the logic? We have seen. So 12, 16 is in proportional with 18 and the fourth proportional x. We have to find out x. Now what was the logic? The product of extremes is equals to product of mean. That means 12 into x is equals to 16 into 18, right? So 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16, and 3 6s are 18. Okay, and hence x is equals to 24, and hence option number B is correct. Okay, so this is like a similar type of example which was asked in MPSC Rajyaseva. Okay, and what they have asked, find the mean proportional between 0.0 at 8 and 0.18. Now we have seen what is the mean proportional means. So let's say if you are not remembering, so now you will see if it is written as proportional, you will at least need to remember okay, this was something what we have studied in proportional. Now they are asking mean proportional. Okay, these are extremes and this is what mean. Okay, that means they are asking us to find out the mean proportional. That means these numbers are given as extreme numbers. So can I write 0.08 as to the middle number? I don't know, is in proportional with, let's say again middle number we will consider it as same, is proportion with 0.18, and hence okay, can I say ki 0.0, instead of that we will again go back to our rule ki product of extremes is equals to product of mean, and hence x square is equals to 0.08 into 0.18, and hence x is equals to square root of 0.08 into 0.18. Okay, now tell me what is the answer. Okay, so it is like 18 eights are, so it is 144, right? 144. That means if I take it outside the square root, okay, the square root of 144 is nothing but 12, but I have to put a decimal after 2 points when it is coming out of square root, and hence the answer will be 0.12. Now which is the option? Option number A, and hence option number A is correct. Let's move to the problem number 5. So this problem was asked in SSC CHSL examination. The problem is what is the third proportional to 16 and 36. So we have seen the third proportional. Again, if you don't remember anything, first write down this formula. Ki A as to B is in proportion with C as to D. Now we have to find out the third proportional. Okay, these are extreme and this is mean proportional. Okay, so this is first, this is second, and this is third, but this is coming under mean proportional, so let's consider this as a third. Okay, This is a logic to remember in the examination. Okay, so now tell me, what is 16 and 36? So 16 is the, let's say the first is antecedent, so 16. Okay, B is mean, so that is given as 36. Again, C is given as 36, but we have to find out the third proportional, which is X. So again, the rule, okay, the product of extremes is equals to product of mean, and hence 16x is equals to 36 into 36. Now tell me, what is the value of x? Okay, now can you comment me the value of x? Hmm? So x is equals to what? 36 into 36 divided by 16. Okay, and hence the value of x is equals to 81. Okay, and what is the option number? Option number B, and hence option number B is correct. Let's move to the next type. So this is very important type, and which is frequently asked in UPSC and MPSC examination. So which is type 3, which is based on income, expenditure and savings. Okay, so here we just need to remember one logic, and what is that? We know कि saving is equals to what? Income minus expenses, right? That is logical. So based on this logic only, the UPSC in 2021 asked this question, and it is saying, so here I will write as income, okay, and here I will write the expenses. The income of A and B are in the ratio 4:3. So, okay, and their expenditures are in the ratio 3:2. Now tell me, what is saving? So saving is nothing but income minus expenses. So this is for A and this is for B. So if I do income minus expenses, okay, this minus the, that means saving of 1. There is a difference of 1, right? So I'll say 1 unit. But for that 1 unit, in the problem, it is given that they are saving rupees 6,000 each. They are saving rupees 6,000 each. And what they have asked? They have asked us to find out the total income. Now this is the section of income. Okay, and for 1 unit, if it is 6,000, if I say total, so total units are how much? 4 plus 3 for income, and total units are nothing but what? 7 units. So if 1 unit is equals to 6,000, then 7 units is equals to 6,000 into 7, and that is equals to 42,000, and hence their total income is equals to 42,000, and hence option number B is correct. See, the problem is very simple. It's just that in examination, because of lack of revision, or you take this topic as very light topic, you will miss such a easy and quick problem. Okay, let's see similar type of example. So this problem was asked in MPSC combined examination. So it is a similar type of problem, but earlier, if you have noticed this problem closely, so we have seen the difference between two was like coming 1 unit, and then we have equated that 1 unit to saving. But now here, if you see, so here again I will write income, and then after that expenses, and below that I will write saving. Okay, so income is in the ratio of 9:7. The expenses are in the ratio of 4:3, and they are saving 200 each, right? So 200 each they are saving. But here, if you see this difference, is not equals to 1 unit, and we have to do some adjustment so that this difference should come in 1 unit, so that we can equate that 1 unit equals to 200. So now how to do that? So if you observe closely these expenses, these are given into 4 as to 3. So if I multiply both numerator and denominator by 2, so can I write the expenses column itself as 8 as to 6, right? And this I will write it as 9 as to 7. Now can you see the difference is now only 1? Do you agree? Yes. Now if the difference is equals to 1, that means 1 unit is equals to how much now? 200, and they were saving 200 each. Now, if 1 unit is equals to 200, the income of A will be what? It is 9 units. So 9 into 1 unit is equals to 200. So 1800 is A's income. And for B's income, okay, how many number of units? 7. And what is the unit cost? Let's 200, and hence 1400 is the income of B, and hence A's income is 1800, B's income is 1400, and hence option number A is correct. Now let's move to the type number 4. So this is very very important, because in most of the exams this is like a favorite question, which is like a coin based question. So this question we are seeing currently now, problem number 8. This question was asked in MPSC Rajyaseva 2019. Now what it says, a bag contains 50 paisa, 25 paisa and 10 paisa coins in the ratio of 5 as to 9 as to 4. That means here this is 50 paisa. So this is what value of that coin, 50 paisa, 25 paisa and 10 paisa. Okay, and they are in the ratio of 5 as to 9 as to 4. That means these are what number of coins, right? In the ratio those are written. So 50 paisa are like 5, 25 paisa 9 and 10 paisa are 4, and this total amounting to rupees 206. This total amounting to rupees 206. We have to find out the number of 50 paisa coins. See, in such problems, what we have to do, we have to find out the face value. Okay. Now, what is the face value? So we have like 50 paisa, 5 coins. So what is the total face value of those particular coins in that particular set? So let's find out. So this will be what? 250 paisa, right? And now this again 25 paisa. If I have 9 coins, right, then I have 225 paisa. Similarly 10 paisa, if I have 4 coins, that means the total value will be 40 paisa, right? And if I add all these, okay, if I add all this, so how much will be the face value of one set? I'm again repeating, face value of one set. So 250 plus 225, so that is nothing but, so that will be 475. 475 plus 40, so 475 plus 40, right? So it will be 500, 500 and remaining is 15, so 515 paisa. So till this point, any question? No. But if you see, the final value is given in rupees, so we have to convert this paisa in rupees. That means we have to divide 515 by 100. That means 5.15 rupees. Do you agree? Right? So in one set where the 5 number of 50 paisa coin, 9 number of 25 paisa coin and 4 number of 10 paisa coin, so their value is rupees 5.15. Okay, but the total value of those coins is 206 rupees. So I have to find out how many like total sets are there. So it will be how many sets? So that will be equals to 206 divided by 5.15. Now what is the 206 divided by 5.15? Okay, now do it in the background and tell me the value. Okay, so the value will be around 40, right? So in one set, okay, the rupees was like 5.15, and such 40 sets are there. Okay, now in one set, how many number of coins of 50 paisa? 5. In 40 sets, how many number of 50 paisa? So 40 into 5, that means equals to 200, right? Now see if we have any option. Yes, option number A, and hence there are 250 paisa coins. Okay, so similarly you can find it for 25 paisa, you can find it for 10 paisa. Okay, so this is simple example, you just need to understand the logic. Now let's see similar type of problem so that you will get used to this. This problem was asked in SSC CGL, so this is very interesting problem. So now what they are saying, so compared to our previous problem, this is kind of inverse. So here in type 4, in previous problem, what we have seen, so earlier they have given a bag contains, okay, 50 paisa, 25 paisa, 10 paisa coins, and the number of coins, their ratio was given, and the total amount was given. But if you see in this problem, they have given the total number of coins in the box itself. So there is a box which contains 420 coins, and in that we have, okay, rupees 1 coins, 50 paisa coin, and 20 paisa coin. Now see carefully what ratio they have given. Their values are in the ratio 13 as to 11 as to 7. So this is what the ratio of their values, right? And this is the face value of a single coin, right? Now let's say to have 13 rupees, how many number of coins, okay, I required for rupees 1? So 13, right? So 13 rupees coins to get the value of 13. Now if I want to get the value of 11 rupees, how many 50 paisa coins are required? So I will need around 22 coins to meet the value of 11 rupees. So similarly, tell me how many number of coins of 20 paisa are needed to meet the value of rupees 7. So that will be equals to, so it is 7 for 7 5s, this 35, right? So 35 number of coins I will need to meet the value of rupees 7. Now let's see, this is a one set. So in one set, how many number of coins we have, right? So 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 5 10, okay, 4, 4 and 2 6 and 7. So total 70 number of coins I have in one set, but total number of coins are how much? 420 coins. So I have 420 coins, and let's say in one set I have like 70 number of coins. So total how many number of sets we have? So we have total like 6 sets, but in one set I already know I have 13 1 rupees coin. So in 6 set, how many 1 rupees coin I will have? 78, and hence option number A is correct. Okay, revise these two problems, okay, at least solve it like 2 3 times, then you will understand the perfect logic behind it, and you will not get confused in the examination. Now let's move to the next type. So this is so we are at type 5, and this is regarding addition and subtraction of quantities. So this question was asked in UPSC CSAT. Two numbers are in the ratio 3 as to 5, okay, and then the 9 is subtracted from each. The new ratio is 12 as to 23. Find out the smaller number. So generally in these cases, what we have to do is we have to say, okay, let's say the smaller number, okay, smaller number is equals to 3x, because x is common link between 3s to 5. Then ultimately the bigger number will become what? The bigger number will become 5x. So okay, and if I take the ratio of like a smaller number versus bigger number, it will become 3s to 5, right? So this way we have to make assumption. Now what they have given, if 9 is subtracted from each, so what I will do, I will subtract the 9 from smaller number, and I will subtract the 9 from bigger number. The new ratio is 12 as to 23. 12 as to 23. So that is what it is given, right? And from this, what we will get? We will get the value of x. But do we need the value of x? No. What is asked? What is smaller number? What is our assumption? The smaller number is 3x, and hence we have to find out the value of 3x, and that will be our answer, right? Now let's solve this equation. Okay, now to solve this equation, what we have to do? We have to do the cross multiplication. So now tell me, what is 23 into t? 3. So 23 threes are 69, minus, now 23 nines are how much? It is 207. So 69x minus 207, that will be equals to 12 fives are 60, right? And 12 nines are, it is 108. Now solve this equation. So I'll bring this 60x here, then 69 minus 60x, that will be equals to 9x, and is equals to 207 minus 108. 2007 minus 108, that is what? 99. What we need? The value of 3x. I have 9x. So what I will do? I will divide both the sides by 3. Okay. So hence 3x will be equals to 33, right? And this is what we need. This is what asked, right? To find out the smaller number, and hence the option number B is correct. Okay, so let's see the problem number 11. So what is given? In a mixture of 60 liter, so there is a mixture of 60 liter, the ratio of milk and water is 2 as to 1. So in this 60 liter we have milk and water, and their ratio is 2 as to 1. How much water must be added to make this ratio 1 as to 2? See, from this 60 liter, 2 portion is milk, 1 portion is water. So the total portion of milk and water is how much? 3, right? So if I divide this 60 by 3, then it will be like 20 portion, right? Total portions are 20. That means the milk is around 40 liter and water is around 20 liter, right? And that is constituting this 60 liter. So I have now milk 40 liter, water 20 liter, right? Now what is given? Ki I have to make this ratio as 1 as to 2, right? So to make it as 1 as to 2, so if I'm considering milk as like 40 liter, then our water must be 80 liter, right? To make it as 1 as to 2. But right now the water quantity is 20 liter. Then how much I need to add? 60 liter. Logic is very straightforward and simple. Now tell me which option is correct. Option number C is correct. Let's move to the next problem. So let's start with the next type. The next type is variation. Okay, a direct and inverse variation. So generally you should know the concept of directly proportional and inversely proportional. So let's say x is directly proportional to y, so generally we write it in these terms, and if we have to add equal sign, then we have to add proportionality constant, let's say k, and that will be equals, then x is equals to ky. So similarly, let's say x is inversely proportional to y, then in that case also if we want to add equal sign, then we have to add the proportionality constant k, and this y will be as it is. So remember these two concepts if you are not aware of these concepts. Okay. Now this problem was asked in Maharashtra Forest Exam. So this is very interesting problem. Okay. The value of a gold coin is directly proportional to the square of its weight. So what it is saying, let's say the value is V, and let's say the weight of the coin is W. The first statement is the value of a coin is directly proportional to the square of weight. That means value is equals to proportionality constant into square of weight. Okay. A coin weighing 10 gram is worth rupees 25,000, right? So now this data is given. So with this data, we know the value as well as weight. Okay. So we can calculate the proportionality constant, and hence proportionality constant will be equals to value divided by square of weight, right? And what is the value? 25,000. And what is the square of weight? So weight is 10 grams, square of weight is 100. So now from this, two zeros got cancelled, two zeros got cancelled. That means 250. And hence the proportionality constant value is how much? 250. Now this we have to use in the next set. Now what they did, so this was the coin, entire coin. Now they splitted it into two coins. Okay, in the ratio of 3:2, and this was like a single coin. Okay, now that coin of 10 gram is now splitted into 3:2, so that is given, right? And we have to predict what is the loss. Now let's find out the split up of 10-gram coin. Okay, so let's say the first proportion is 3x, second proportion is 2x. If I add it, that will become 10-gram coin, and hence x is equals to 10 divided by 5, and hence x is equals to 2. Okay, and if I know the value of x equals to 2, then the proportion of first coin is 3x and the second coin is 2x. That means 3x, x value is 2, so that will become 6 gram, and this will become 4 gram. That means 10 gram coin we have splitted into 6 gram and 4 gram. Now we know the cost is directly proportional to what? Weight, square of weight, that is given. Okay, and we know the proportionality constant. We know the earlier value of the coin. What was the earlier value of the coin? It was worth rupees 25,000. Now new value we have to find out for these two coins. So let's say, let's find out the value for 6 gram coin. Okay, so value for 6 gram coin, it will be equals to, let's say, okay, 6 gram coin के लिए. So we will consider v1 is equals to k into weight of square. So now what is the value? V1 is equals to, what is k? It is 250 into weight is how much? 6. So it is 6 square. Similarly, find out for second coin. So that will be equals to 250 into 4 square. Okay. And earlier, what was the value? It was 25,000. So can I say loss is equals to earlier value, okay, minus later value? Can I say like that? Right? Earlier value was 25,000. Later value was this v1 plus v2, right? Because we have two coins. So in bracket v1 plus v2, I can write this 250 is common. So what I will do, I'll take this 250 common out, and in bracket it will be 6 square plus 4 square, and hence it will be equals to 25,000 minus, okay, 250 into 6 square is 36 and 4 square is 16, right? Then 36 and 16 is equals to, give me a moment, I think there is some call. Okay, sorry. So 36 and what we were saying, 36 and it was what, 16, right? So that will be equals to 52, right? Now tell me the final value. Okay, so now if I do 250 into 52, so 25,000 minus, okay, so 0 at it as it is, 25 twos are 50, 25 fives are is 125, 125 and 5 is 130, then 13,000, right? So now 25,000 minus 13,000, so that will be equals to how much? 12,000. Okay, and that is the loss, right? And what was asked, what is the loss? The loss is 12,000, and hence option number A is correct. Now let's move to the next problem. So this problem was asked in SSC CGL examination. Okay. Here it is given as A varies inversely as that of B, right? So just now we have learned if we have to equate, we will add a proportionality constant and then we will write B. Okay. But the value of A and B is given. So what I will put in this equation, I will just put the value of A, which is 10, is equals to K divided by value of B. That means K's value is 20. Now, secondly, what they are asking, find A when B is equals to 5, right? Again, find A. So A we have to find out. K value is given. I'm just writing down this equation. So K I know it is 20, and I have to find out. When B is 5, I have to find out the A. Okay, and hence A is equals to 4, and hence option number A is correct. Okay. So we have seen most of the problems. So there are some miscellaneous problems and ages. So let's cover that as well, so that we will not skip any type of problem which was asked in examinations. So now here, if you see, so this problem number 14 was asked in MPSC combined examination. Okay. What is given? The ages of P and Q. Okay. P and Q are in the ratio of 6 as 7. Okay. If Q is 4 year older than P, here we have a shortcut method as well. The difference is given 4 year, right? If I see the difference, the difference is what? Let's say 1 unit, right? So 1 unit is difference, and that 1 unit is nothing but 4, that is given, right? That means 4 is a factor, and hence can I say, so this ratio is 6 as to 7, right? This is P as to Q, and the unit value is 4. Then 6 fours are 24 is the age of P, and 7 fours are 28 is the age of Q, right? Now, what they are asking, what will be the ratio of their ages after 4 years? So, after 4 years, so what I need to do, they will become older by 4 years, right? So, this will become 28 and this will become 32, right? They are asking what is the ratio, right? So, I can divide it by 4. So, 4 sevens are 28, 4 eights are 32, right? So 7 as to 8, and hence option number A is correct. So till now everything is going good. Now in this type 7, which is the last type, we have very last problem. Okay, and we will finish this very quickly. It's not a very difficult problem. Okay, and this was asked in UPSC CSAT 2024 pattern. Okay, the total strength of the class is given, which is 100. The ratio of boys to girls is 3 as to 2, right? 3 as to 2. Let's say, okay, there are 3x boys and 2x girls. Okay, total is 5x, strength is 100, and hence 5x is equals to 100. X value is equals to 20, and hence there are 3x number of boys, right? 3x number of boys, that means 60 boys and 40 girls, right? Now what is given, if 10 girls live, okay, if 10 girls live, then the new number of girls will be 30 girls, and boys are how many? 60 boys, right? What is the new ratio of boys versus girl? So 60 boys, 30 girls. Okay, so that means this is 2, this is 1, so 2 as to 1, and that is option number A. Okay, so we have covered all types of problems. Okay, and you cannot imagine problems beyond this which are asked in the examination. So we have covered almost all types of problems. So thank you so much for watching the full video, and we are taking a lot of efforts to make this video, and hence don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you are liking this series, please hit like button. Okay, we will see you in the next video. So by then, I am Rahul Sir taking your leave. Have a good day. Bye bye.